There are people you meet who feel new. You learn their favorite songs, their story, their quirks. You build a connection slowly, step by step. And then, there are the ones who walk into your life and your soul reacts like it's not the first time. You don't know their history, but some part of you feels like you're picking up mid-conversation. You can't explain why you're so drawn to them, why your guard drops faster than usual, or why being near them feels like a strange blend of déjà vu, comfort and chaos. It's not just attraction, it's not just chemistry, it's that unsettling, magnetic sense of I know you from somewhere, not from this timeline, but somewhere. You might not believe in reincarnation in a literal way. You might see past lives as a symbol for how deep your psyche goes, like Carl Jung did when he spoke of ancient patterns living inside us. But whatever your belief system, there's a certain kind of connection that feels older than your current life. If someone's face is already in your mind as you're listening, if you have that one person you could never quite explain, pause with me for a moment. Type "old soul" in the comments. You don't have to explain anything. Those two words are not for them, they're for you. Acknowledging I've felt that ancient pull. My spirit has recognized someone beyond logic. From my side, these long Jung-inspired reflections take real time, focus, and a lot of heart. If you ever feel moved to support this work, there's a small Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Never expected, but it genuinely helps me keep creating deep, careful content for souls like you. And in that same description, you'll find a playlist filled with Jungian love, old souls, synchronicity, and spiritual connection. Save it. At the end of this video, it will pop up as an end screen, and you can let it play quietly when you're about to sleep. Your body will rest, but your subconscious will keep listening, keeping this deeper wisdom alive in the background of your mind. Now let's walk through 5 clues you've met someone from a previous lifetime, through the lens of Carl Jung's psychology, where past life doesn't have to be literal to be absolutely real in your inner world. Clue 1. The instant recognition. You can't just blame on attraction. You've probably been attracted to people at first sight before. You see someone hot, someone your type, and you feel the rush, the spark of desire, curiosity, excitement. But this was different. When you met this person, it wasn't just wow, they're attractive. It was oh, it's you. Even if you didn't say it out loud, your body, your spirit, your subconscious reacted that way. You may have felt strange calm under the nerves, a soft shock that didn't feel like fear, like your chest opened and your stomach dropped at the same time, like you were remembering rather than discovering. You didn't need them to impress you first. You didn't need a list of facts and backstory. On some deep, non-verbal level, there was a sense of recognition. Carl Jung might say that when this happens, you're not just meeting their personality, you're meeting an archetype your soul already knows. The healer, the lover, the teacher, the soul companion, sometimes even the challenger or the destroyer. It's like your unconscious whispers, we've done something like this before, maybe not in this body, but in some other chapter of our existence, psychological, spiritual, or literal. You may not remember a specific story from another life, but the energy feels familiar. You're not starting at zero, and that's the first clue. You've met 1,000 faces, but for this one, your soul didn't ask for an introduction. Clue 2. Time warps around them, too fast and too slow at the same time. With most people, you feel the timeline. We just met. We've known each other a few months. We're still getting to know each other. There's a sense of gradual build. But when someone carries that previous lifetime feeling, time gets weird. You might feel like hours with them go by in minutes. You talk for the second or third time, but it feels like the 50th. You move into deeper conversations faster than you should. After a short time, it already feels strange to imagine your life without them. Jung was fascinated by the way significant experiences distort time. When something touches the deeper layers of psyche, the collective unconscious, the archetypal level, it doesn't feel bound by the ordinary ticking of clocks. Your ego says, slow down, this is too fast. Your soul answers, we're not starting today. We're picking up where we left off. That's why you might feel a bizarre comfort telling them things you've never told anyone. Feel like your inside jokes form instantly. Feel a sense of old married couple or old friends energy much earlier than logically makes sense. It's as if your timelines overlap. your current life, and something older that neither of you can name but both of you feel. This doesn't mean you have to sprint into a relationship, but it's a clue. Time with them doesn't feel linear. It feels layered, like this is not your first chapter together, just your latest. Clue 3. The emotional intensity is disproportionate to how much you know them. One of the strongest clues is how intense your feelings are compared to how little you objectively know them. With them, you might notice, you care far more than makes sense for how often you talk. Their absence feels heavier than it should, so early. A small change in their mood affects you way more than you expect. You feel irrationally hurt, jealous or protective in ways that surprise even you. You might catch yourself thinking, why do I feel like this? We're not even that close yet. This is insane. Jung would remind you, not all emotional reactions belong only to the present moment. Sometimes, another person activates old wounds from childhood. Ancient archetypal themes like abandonment, reunion, betrayal, destiny, deep layers of longing you've buried for years. If you lean into a more spiritual view, you might say, maybe my soul remembers a story we haven't told yet in this lifetime. If you lean into a more psychological view, you might say, this connection is tapping into unresolved parts of me that feel centuries old. Either way, the result is the same. You feel too much for what the situation looks like on the outside. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean you're imagining everything. It means this connection lives in a deeper layer than most. Think of it like this. For most people, you're only reacting to the chapter you're in. For this person, your soul might be reacting to the entire book. Clue 4. The bond is both comforting and confronting, like they've known your shadow for ages. People from the surface of your life only ever touch your persona, the version of yourself you've curated for the world, the confident one, the composed one, the strong one, the I'm fine one. But this connection, they don't just vibe with your polished self. They see through you, not in a creepy, invasive way, but in a strangely accurate, unnerving way. You might feel like they intuit your moods before you name them. They pick up on your defense mechanisms. They gently, or sometimes not so gently, call out the patterns you've been repeating for years. They seem to know what you're about to say, or what you're really trying not to say. Carl Jung would say they're in direct contact with your shadow, the unclaimed, unhealed, hidden parts of you. It's as if, at some level of reality, you've been circling each other's shadow for lifetimes, triggering, healing, mirroring. That's why the connection feels like both a home, because your deepest self feels recognized, and a mirror you sometimes want to run from, because they reflect parts of you that are still in pain, still unfinished, still growing. You might notice this dynamic. They make you want to be more honest with yourself. They awaken a desire to heal what you've tolerated. They trigger old fears in you, fear of abandonment, rejection, unworthiness, and at the same time, something about their presence makes you want to finally face those fears. That is not normal attraction, that is soul work. And whether you call it previous lifetimes, karmic ties, or simply old psychic patterns, they feel like someone who has been traveling with you for a long, long time, and is not afraid to stand in front of your shadow, instead of turning away. If this is resonating so far, take a moment, if you haven't yet, to like this video and subscribe, then tap the notification bell so you don't lose this Jungian space on the days you're spiraling, trying to make sense of a connection that doesn't fit in any normal box. Your engagement genuinely helps this long-form, depth-centered content reach other old souls who need it. And remember, the playlist in the description is there when your chest feels too full and you don't have words yet. Clue 5. Your life path shifts after meeting them, even if they don't stay. Perhaps the clearest clue of all is what happens to you after they enter your life. You may realize, looking back, that your life now has a before them and after them quality. Even if you never dated officially, you only spent a short season together, or your connection stayed mostly unspoken or unfulfilled. The impact is undeniable. After they appear, you might change careers or feel a strong pull toward a more authentic path. Finally start therapy or deepen your spiritual practice. Leave a toxic dynamic that had you stuck for years. Awaken to a whole new level of self-worth. Feel called to creativity, purpose, or service in a way you didn't before. It's not that they fixed you, it's that their presence flipped a switch you were always meant to flip. Jung would say they constellated the self in you, brought your deeper, truer nature into focus. In a reincarnation framework, you might say, whenever we meet in a lifetime, it's a marker that I'm ready to step into the next chapter of my soul's evolution. This doesn't romanticize pain. Some of these connections are brutally hard. They can be filled with longing and bad timing, tender but impossible, loving but not sustainable, or beautiful and also finite. But even if they leave or you leave, they don't fully go away, because the version of you they awakened remains. You might realize you no longer tolerate certain dynamics you used to normalize. You're far more honest about what you want from love. You're softer in some places, stronger in others. You feel less interested in shallow connections that don't touch your soul. They were a turning point, not because they were perfect or magical in a movie way, but because their presence intersected with a key moment in your evolution. It's as if your souls agreed somewhere beyond language. In this lifetime, when we meet, let it be a signal. It's time to wake up a little more. And that's why your spirit knows, even years later, this wasn't just a random attraction. This was part of my story. So, were they really from a previous lifetime? Here's the honest Jungian answer. No one can prove it. No one can give you a certificate stamped past life connection confirmed. But what Jung cared about was not whether metaphysical beliefs could be verified like a math problem. He cared about their psychological truth. If thinking of previous lifetimes helps you honor the depth of what you felt, if it gives language to a connection that changed you, then at a soul level, it doesn't really matter whether it's literally reincarnation or symbolically the ancient layers of your psyche meeting itself through another. What matters is, you don't gaslight yourself anymore. You stop calling something nothing when clearly your heart, body and dreams say it was something. You let the connection teach you what it came to teach. You don't throw away your self-respect in the name of destiny. You can hold both truths. My spirit knows this was real, and I still deserve to be loved clearly, kindly and consistently in this lifetime, past life or not. No soul contract justifies being treated badly in the present. If they are truly part of your deeper story, honoring that story will never ask you to abandon yourself again. You, the one replaying a pair of eyes in your mind, wondering why their presence shook you so much, questioning whether you imagined it all. I want you to hear this clearly. You are not foolish for feeling something you can't explain. You are not weak for missing someone who awakened your soul. You are not crazy for thinking your spirit recognized another spirit. You are simply awake enough to notice that not every connection fits inside logic. Some bonds feel ancient. Some meetings feel scripted by something beyond your conscious mind. Carl Jung would invite you not to obsess over who they were in a past life, but to ask, who did I become because I met them? What did this connection reveal about who I truly am? How can I walk forward more aligned with or without them by my side? If this spoke to you and you haven't already, type old soul in the comments. Not as a confession about another person, but as a quiet recognition of yourself. I feel life at a deeper level. I've known connections that don't fit easy explanations, and I am learning to honor that without losing myself. If this reflection held you in any way, it really helps when you like the video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, so this Jungian corner of the internet stays close on the days you're trying to make sense of love, fate, and timing. From my side, these long, carefully crafted scripts take real time, focus, and a lot of heart to create. If you ever feel moved to support this work, there's a small Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Never expected, always deeply appreciated. And don't forget, in that same description, you'll find a playlist made for souls like you. Old souls, deep feelers, spiritually sensitive hearts who've met people they can't quite explain but can't quite forget. When you're about to sleep tonight, instead of going back through old messages, instead of spiraling through what if and why them, open that playlist, hit play, and let it run softly in the background as you drift off. Your body will rest, but your subconscious will keep listening, keep healing, keep reorganizing your story around more truth and less fear. Save the playlist, fall asleep with it, and let these messages sink slowly from your mind into your soul, reminding you that whether or not you ever get all the answers, you are allowed to trust what your spirit knows and still choose a life in this lifetime that honors your heart, your growth, and the deep, ancient wisdom you carry.